Hey guys, Josh Carter here, One Objective Outdoors. In today's video, we're going to be going over my 2022 Hobie PA14 360, how I got it rigged, new things that's going to be going on it for this year, for the 2024 season, and then just how we travel and things that make life a little bit easier while traveling. So stay tuned, we're going to get this thing uncovered and show you guys how it's all rigged. All right, before I uncover it, so one of the videos that we've done or pictures we've done, we get a lot of questions on what kind of cover this is. This is a carven cover, I think is how you say it, carven cover. James found them on online and fits really good, it fits tight, and like I say, I keep my tackle box in here, and you'll see that just in a little bit. I do take my power pole bracket off. I think my cover fits just a little bit tighter than James's, but I think sometimes will just fold his power pole down and use it that way too. But a lot of times too, I'll keep so when I'm traveling down the road, I'll have my battery box and my tackle box in there. And then, you know, you're able to put rods in here and all that and travel down the road with your cover on. So it's just another way to, you know, have storage while traveling to your next event. So but anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get this taken off. I'm gonna get things put on so you can see how I have the boat set up, and then we'll go over it. All right guys, got the cover off. I will say this, don't judge me, the boat's a disaster. Didn't clean it up since the last tournament, so she's a little filthy, I ain't gonna lie, but got it basically somewhat set up how I normally use it when out on the water. The only thing I don't have on here is the graph right now, which I'll go over what graph I'm running, but basically everything else is how I have it set up factory. But first off, I want to go over the trailer a little bit. We get a lot of questions about the trailer and what we did and all that stuff, and James has a few more things done on his. He's actually got it painted. Mine still looks like a homemade build. Got some new tires coming for it, and I'm going to be repacking bearings, and I'll show you why here in just a little bit. But other than that, let's kind of dig into the trailer part. I'm going to show you something really cool with the Yakima box that we did. I think a lot of you guys are going to like this, and but yeah, so we're going to show you. Let's dig into it. All right, so let's dig into the Yakima box here. Looks like regular plain Jane Yakima box, but what we did was we took out the rod holders in here, okay? And we actually got a plastic plate that goes down under this matting that we did as well. Don't pay no mind to this. I'm doing something a little bit different with holding my wires up. We got an amped battery in here, and let me show you why. So we basically right up here have LED lights that go in. It's hard to share during the day, but anyways, when you're at the boat ramp early in the morning, or you fishing a night tournament and you come off the water, it's still dark, you can have lights when you open your rod box up. And also the cool thing is we got it all wired in to one switch here. So this is another switch. I already got it prepared. It's going to be some backup lights that I plan on running here. That way, some of these ramps, man, there's no lighting. Like, you can't see the ramp whatsoever, even with the reverse lights on your car. So we're going to put brighter lights on. That way we can see, we can cut them on and have it just, you know, blasting the ramp. So, but anyways, cut these on. If you can see them right there, you go. You can see them. They don't look real bright right now. They're really, really bright at nighttime. So we did it. We run them there. We got it here, and as you can see, they run down the trailer, around down the box, and it lights up the whole entire kayak. So when you're rigging at night, or you're rigging for the next day, say you go out and have practice and you get off at dark, you're at the house rigging, it lights the whole freaking kayak up. It's all contained into one system right here. I love it. I mean, that way if you sell your trailer, you want to put this box on something else, you can put it on there. And I mean, like I said, we got it, it runs all the way up here to the front. So it lights every single thing up on the kayak. And I've basically had that battery in there. I've charged it one time when we first got it, and I haven't charged it since then. I mean, like, it just, these lights don't drain nothing. So it is just perfect. And this right here is what happens when you're fishing at Hartwell near Jamie from Dugout. He's gonna tag you. He's gonna tag you up. Thanks, Jamie. And but like I say, this way, the way we got these rigged up, so we got the rod straps on here from GF Outdoors, and it just, that way we put them up there, we can strap all our rods down. It keeps them from just bouncing and banging around. The Yakima system that they have for the rods, if you're just carrying a few rods, it's not bad, okay? But a lot of times what I put in here is going to be the tournament setup rods that I'm going to use for the tournament. I have another one that goes on top of the Bronco. That's just like my extra rods, stuff that I may need. If I break rods or any of that stuff, I have extra rods, but this is just basically be the rods that I use during the tournament. Now, sometimes what I'll do too is I have, you know, like the ones that are go in the back here. If I'm close and I'm a pretty secure area, a lot of times I'll have my rods just sitting in here, the 3 on each side, and then I'll turn them the other way. So when I get to the boat ramp, all I gotta do is pull them out, boom, 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 put them in there, and you get on the water quick, you know. But if not in a secure area, or I'm just traveling, you know, I'll put some rods in here if I need to with the cover on. And then, but pretty much all my tournament, I think we can get about 14 to 16 rods in here when you lay them both ways and you get them in there just right. So you can put all the rods in there that you need for like a, you know, a tournament and all that stuff. So all right, let's start back here in the back. This is where we get a lot of questions at, for motors, for everything. So this is a one objective motor mount. It's basically drilled. It can hold, it's got the same hole pattern for the power pole, same hole pattern for the Torpedo, same hole pattern for the Newport vessel. We do make another one, it's called the motor mount, which actually is a transom piece that comes up, and you can just put like a $100 trolling motor on there. It just clamps right on, and you know, drive it however, rig it however you want with pedals and all that stuff, however you desire to do all that. But this is a super strong mount, super light, and I mean, it ain't going nowhere. I mean, this is the same mount that's been on here since day one. We've got customers that we've rigged boats for before we even had our Hobies that are running that mount, and it has been a phenomenal mount, super strong. So bolts on easy. You got 4 nuts back here, 4 nuts and bolts, and then 2 that go up here. And I mean, it's just a super strong mount. But anyways, running the power pole, micro power pole, that's a must have, I feel, for any kayak, especially if you're running like a stern mount motor or no motor at all. You want something that can keep you in place. Especially, this was a big deal for me at Toledo Bend, and able to fish points and catch. If I didn't do well in that event per se, if you looked at where I placed, but I caught a lot of fish. I felt I wouldn't have caught them fish if I didn't have that, because the wind was blowing so bad I was able to kind of anchor up on a point and throw a Carolina rig. So but anyways, got that. They got it all hardwired in. A lot of people use the battery for them. I don't like it. Had a lot of issues with them. It left me stranded on the water sometimes. It would act funny, it would do stupid stuff. So I just did away with the battery, hardwired it right into this setup that we're going to show you, and I've never had a problem with it since then. So this is our battery box that we built up. Everything, this is like the command center. Everything is run out of here. I mean, everything. We got one side that goes up to our graph stuff, or our main motherboard up front, I'd say, for fuses and, you know, power distribution, all that stuff. That's one of the cords. And then on the other side, we got another cord that goes up for our motor. And then you can see here we got a plug where the wires come out here. They'll come out of this box, and they plug in here, and that will run our live scope, Garmin, all that stuff, just with that as well. And the reason why we did this system right here is for the fact that I can take this system right here, and let's say we're going to travel and somebody's going to supply us a boat if we wanted to, like another Hobie, and we wanted to take this whole system. That way we could still have like our live scope and all that stuff with us. You know what I mean? We could do that. Or we're switching boats, you know? I mean, sometimes like we'll run the links. So I can take this off. I don't want to have the battery system, but I can take this out and we'll just run an internal battery in here just to run our live scope and our graph and all that stuff. So it makes it a little more versatile to take it from different kayak, different kayak, different kayak. And this setup here actually saved our butt. So last year at Christmas time, we had that Arctic blast and the power went out and it was out for a week. Luckily we had the wood stove and all that, but we also used this because we got the USB ports on here, right here, that we can charge our batteries and our cell phones. And I got some tall vlogging lights that I plugged into there as well, and that just gives us some more light down there in the basement where we were hanging out by the wood stove. But we put these, this right off, this is just a DeWalt box, cheap $20 DeWalt box that we rigged up. We put the clips on here for the tie downs. We redid our tie downs on our Hobie as well. As you can see, they come up here. We put the same thing on this box. Everything's secure. I drive down the road with this system in the back. Once I'm at a tournament, this is hooked up and it doesn't come out of the back. Unless it's pouring down rain, I want to take stuff in and work on it, but it doesn't come out the back. The other thing I like about this setup too, especially like this DeWalt box, is we got the little wheels on there. Now, there's other companies out there that are making, I want to say, a lot better toolbox system that will probably work for a lot of people, and that's the Yakima. They got their Pro Pack systems. Very versatile. They did a heck of a job on that box, but this is just what we run because it's set up perfect for how we needed to rig it up. We just, this is fit everything we needed to do. So, and you can see we actually just put some plastic here so we could put more rod tubes here. So that's 6 rod tubes right there. To be honest with you, we could probably come out and put a couple more on each side if we wanted to, but I think it's getting carried away because you got another rod tube here and one on the other side. So we carry a lot of rods, and then I'll have that full, those two, and then I'll have those full as well. And during tournament time, I hopefully can back it back off. But rambling on, let's get back to it. So all I gotta do is take these off and we can get inside this thing. So it looks like a lot, it does, but it's pretty simple. And we got fuses here. That way I can see like if anything's popped or any of that stuff. We got our breakers here. This one's actually, the piece broke off to hold it up in there. But anyways, you can kick them on and off. That's for the trolling motor. One's for the depth finders, all that stuff. So it gives power to everything. And if I want to, and I'm done at the end of the day, instead of unplugging everything, I can go in here and just pop those breakers and it's done. Like, it's killed power to everything. You see the other Anderson plugs sitting right there. Those are for this right here. So this is a 3-bank lithium charger. So when we're at a tournament and you got some of these battery chargers that are, you know, you plug it into one and it just takes all night long to charge depending on how low it gets. That right there is a quick charger. I can plug it in here to each port, each bank there, and it gets direct charge for everything. So I really, really love that setup. And like I say, you can see we got the, don't mind the powder crap all over the wires here, but anyways, each bank has its own fuse as well, so it can, you know, if something feels like it's overloading, it can pop the fuse. These are 60 amp hour amp batteries. I can't say enough about them. They just got phenomenal setup, and I have not had no issues with their batteries or this setup. So what we're doing is with that, and I'll put a video up at the top here to our One Objective Bass Fishing channel where we went over this. So what we're doing is we can have it parallel or series, and we can switch it quick. So if we wanted to run an NK motor in the back where it's going to be a 24-volt system, we can switch it. And then if we want to run just the XI3 up front, which is a 12-volt system, we can switch it over and run a 24-volt system. You know what I mean? A 12-volt system. But our plan is to possibly go 24-volt up front as well. So, and like I say, those are 260s. We have never ran out. Never have ran out of power with that setup. I mean, normally when we try to build it, we try to overbuild it. so it's never an issue. But I can tell you the truth, and we run that, or we can run 100. We used to run 100 in our Titans, and never ran out of juice. So, and I mean, we did some long runs. So that's a heck of a setup. And I know it's expensive, but man, by the time it's all said and done, it's worry-free. And at the end of the year, I can take this out, I can take it inside, I'll charge it and let it sit, and every once in a while I'll do a maintenance charge if I haven't been out on the water in a while. But like I said, they hold their charge. It don't take long to charge it. So, but getting back to the box here, let me get over here. I'll show you guys the inside and how we did this. This is also, I'm gonna go over this here in a minute. I'm going to mount this to the top. This is something I was looking at before I did the video, and I want to be able to have one more box up top to be able to put like some odd and end things in. You know, heck, if I wanted to put my cell phone in there or whatever. But this is the one I want to thank Yak Tac for sending us these. So this one's just got like a little pocket in it, a little cubby. Let me get it out in the light here so you can see. It's got like a little cubby here. You can put like a small box in if you want to put your cell phones in. It looks like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Will slide right down in that thing too. So, but you can also get down into the bottom here if you needed to, but I don't think you'll be able to put much in there because it's gonna crush it. But I do like their system here. This is super nice. We're gonna go over another one I got up front here, but you can check all this stuff out too on oneobjectivebf.com. We got, and I'll put links down below for it all, but locks in, clips in. They also on the bottom here, so this comes off. So on the bottom here, you can see there's about 3 different ways you can mount this setup. So I'm probably just gonna mount it right here like that, but they got different ways you can mount it on your tracks and all that stuff. So we'll dig into that just here in a little bit, but just love that setup. It's super nice. So this, we got a plate here, and you can see this is our live scope box, and all we did was notch our box and all our wires come out. So the wire runs back to here to plug in, and then we got the other wires that run out and go down the rail and, you know, do its thing with the live scope and all that stuff. So, and then in here we got plenty of room to put 3700s. That's what we like to run a lot. I know a lot of guys are switching over to 3600s with kayaks, and tried it. I did not like my 3600 system. I do it for some of my like terminal tackle, depending on if I'm just fishing a river and I don't need a lot. But in this plate here, if I need it to, I can take it out. It just slides right out. So, but it's a groove in here, cut, and that plate just works perfect. So, but yeah. And I like it's got the handle on the other side, so if you can extend it out and roll it wherever. Especially if you're like, you know, going to hotel rooms, you can stack stuff on top of it and carry it all in there, you know, depending on where you're staying at. So on here I got the Hobie buckets. They're nice just to catch a bunch of junk. That's basically what happens with this, is it just catches junk. But got all my dyes and all that stuff in there, and I keep this pretty clean back here. This is where this is our live scope mount. Fishing Specialties, we're a dealer for them as well. You can check, we got this stuff on our site. And I just basically, what we got here is, we took the Hobie accessory plate, I guess that's what you call it, mounting plate or whatever. We cut it down, and we just took their mount. Let me take this off. Took their mount and then attached it right there on the side. Super easy, super cheap. And the one thing I like about it is when you put it in place, I can't do it because it's on the trailer, but when you put it in place, like ram ball mounts and all that stuff, it just, when you're going from spot to spot and you got to pull it up and all that, you can never mount this in the exact same location every single time when you got those folding, like different ram ball mounts and all that stuff. Nothing towards them, just I could never get it in the exact same spot every single time. This way right here, I have it set in the exact same spot every single time. If I take it out and put it back in, I know that it's tight. Going across the lake with some of those mounts that have too many folding parts in it, going across the lake, they tend to fold back or move a lot. They got a lot of wiggle room in them. I don't like that. So especially if you're going at a pretty good clip and you're scanning around, well, then your mount's like getting tilted back. So this, it's solid. I love it. I love this setup. So I got another bucket mount here, like I say, catches more junk. I got 3 of them on this kayak. One right there, one right there, one right there. So But this is the one that has all my fish grips and clips and tool, like my tools, pliers, and all that's right there, accessible, easy to get to. They did a really good job coming up with little, accessories like that. So these are my clippets. They run down. It basically helps organize all the wiring down through here. As you can see here, got all the wiring in there, and it just keeps everything organized. So like say if I need to take everything off the kayak, it's not all run in the hole, it's not all that gibberish. I can yank it all out of there. I mean, all I gotta do is take those clippets off and pull all the wire back to my box and roll it up and put it inside, and I can take everything off of there. It's no holes, no extra holes or any of that mess. It makes it super easy to take everything off. So clippet's a great deal. It works great on the H-rail system for, like I say, putting all that in there. And you can see it's just a little groove, so it don't pinch nothing. Fits perfect. We love them. That's been a big item for us, especially rigging kayaks and all that stuff. All right, so right under the seat there, as you can see, that is our Hobie underseat tackle system. I don't have the drawers in that one because I actually take a big flambeau box, and I keep all of my soft plastics in there, so I can just pull it right out and go through everything from jig trailers to Carolina rig stuff, all my missile bait stuff. So that's where that goes. And then there I got enough room to put 3 3700s. So a lot of times 2 boxes guaranteed is going to go there of what I'm using that day. Like if I were fishing a tournament down at Fork or whatever, it's during the winter time, like where I had my jerk bait box there. I'm gonna have another box there of, depending on what we're fishing, it might just be my top water box. Whatever I'm mainly fishing that day, that's my big go-to, go there. But I always have my terminal box there. There's always a terminal box with all my weights, hooks, and all that goes there. So that's big for us, for just staying organized, but being able to put more tackle in the boat. Because like I say, we come from bass boats, so it's hard for me just to downsize. Drew Gregory and all them can downsize and carry 1 box. I can't do it. Absolutely cannot. I gotta have everything, just in case. In here, got the bucket organizer for the Hobie box. That's really nice, keeping your spinner baits, and I got my controller in here, and just odd and end stuff. I'll keep my phone in there, and just a little bit of anything that you want just to help organize it. You can hang your crankbaits on there if you don't want to hang them on the side of your cup caddy or your box or whatever. You can just take them and hang them in there. At the end of the day, you can take them out and put them all up. You know how we fishermen are. We'll just take stuff off, throw it in a hurry, whatever. This way at least keeps it out your way, not getting in your foot or in your pants or whatever. So, but that's the Hobie bucket organizer. That's a must-have, I have to say. So, moving up here towards the front, we got, so this is a mount. It's not on the website yet. We've actually been running this for 1.5 years now, just testing, seeing if this is the route we wanted to go. I think you'll probably see this on the website here soon. So I run a 12-inch Garmin. This can go all the way up to a 16-inch Garmin. Whatever you want to do. You could probably get it to where you could probably put 2 graphs on there if you'd like, but right now we're just running the 1 12-inch. We used to run 2 graphs, and everybody's going live scope, and that's basically what I'm looking at. I mean, I got mapping on there if I need to go to a spot, and once I find that spot, I can lock down with my XI3, and I'm good to go, and then just make my cast. So I like having the big screen way up here. People, I see a lot of people trying to get taller mounts. I'll mount it here and get it even taller so that it'll be close to them when they're standing up and all that. I like it to be a little bit lower so I can reach over and get into my hatch. Or if you're trying to get out of the boat, you ain't got all this tall stuff sitting up. I can walk right out, step over it, whatever. I'm not the most nimble in these boats. I'm a big dude, and this boat does great, but I'm not the most nimble, so anything that gets in my way could trip me up and make me look like an idiot at the boat ramp. I try to avoid it. So I got the pedal drive system here. This is just a Hobie bag. I keep it in. I don't think it's actually made to hold a 360 drive, but it fits. I know it's made for the 180. I don't know if the 360 is a little bit bigger, but it just fits really tight in that bag. So but it works. So I'll show you inside the hatch and how, you know, just basically what I got in there. So inside the hatch is typical. Normally I have, you know, when I travel down the road, I'll keep my flag and stuff in the boat. I try to keep everything in the boat that I want to use on the water, so I'm not looking in my car for it. You know, that's a pain in the neck when you're trying to find stuff in a car that's packed full of junk. So got the Yak straps, all that, just typical junk. That's one thing I like about the Hobie. It's just got a deep box up front. Got the one objective in-hole mounting plate. That's just got the fuse panel on there. I know a lot of guys put their live scope on there. So basically, for one, we did it in that box like I talked about for ease of taking out of the boat. But two, also taking more weight and putting it to the rear of the kayak. The boxes are heavy. I mean, they're not majorly heavy, but a couple pounds up front of a kayak can make a big difference. So, and then I got our pull cord that runs through there, through the hatch, and then you can see here I got my, well, it's under my hatch piece here, but it's a piece that's got a little hook on it. It comes up and attaches to the release for the the XI3, so I can pull the motor up. And don't pay no mind here, I got to get that replaced, because look at that. That's what happens when a freaking cat gets a hold to your deck mat. So anyways, we won't talk about that. All right guys, we got the one objective bow mount. We got the got our nav lights, our one objective nav lights installed right on the side. And all we did was basically, we're going to do a video on this, but we just kind of drilled in and then run them out the bottom and then down in the bottom, so there's no wires exposed whatsoever. They run to our fuse panel. Got the quick release plate on. See, we got our handle here. We were the first ones that really did that. So there's other mounts out there that look like it. They'll say they're quicker, they'll say they're faster or whatever, more efficient. I can tell you right now, you ain't gaining but a 1/10 mile-an-hour difference from mount to mount. So, but been a good mount, been a strong mount. We've really tested them out over the last several years and have no complaints. And it's just, man, it's been strong. I mean, we've beat them to death too. I mean, running in trees at Lake Fork and all that. So plug system, just a Marinco plug, like a bass boat plug. I mean, I hear guys all the time on the forums talking about how they burn plugs up, but that's the same plug that runs in my bass boat. Never burn them up in my bass boat. Been running this one for, what, 2 years now? Got another buddy of ours been running one for 3 years and never burned it up. So don't know what they're doing different. I don't know if they're not running big enough wire. I don't know what they're doing, but that's the same plug and it's been a good plug. So all right, so moving over here, like I say, we got the Yak track pack. Got it mounted on here onto this is the Duo, Yak Duo. And you can see I got my Yak cup with the cup caddy on here. Really nice piece to have. You can put your big cups in. You can also put some of your tools. You can hang other things off of it. I just like having something to hang stuff on or strap to, or just kind of a, I'm gonna say, organized mess. You know what I mean? I don't like having too much craziness everywhere, but I do like having that. Now, I have this mounted here. This is not where I'm going to mount it. I mean, I was just kind of playing with the idea. I think I do like it, but the only thing is, it's kind of, I could go to one box and I could probably move the other box where I was gonna put it back there and just have the one. But I want to show you guys what's really cool about their setup. Let's see if I can turn it here. I don't have it really tight. So if you're sitting in your kayak, you open it up, and this is the thing I like. So you got, if you wanted to put like different weights and hooks in here, you could do that. And you can take it out, you can put 2 in there. This is a freaking really great design. There ain't a lot of things that's been out in the last couple of years that made me say, wow, I gotta have that for my kayak. I mean, there really hasn't been. The new black pack from Yak is nice. I do like that setup. But this is the first thing in a long while that has made me say, wow, I need that for my kayak. I think they did a heck of a job, and they knocked this out of the park. It also gives you options where, you know, you can have this out, or like I say, you can mount them to each other. They come off pretty easily if you need to take them off. You know what I mean? Say you're going to fish a pond and you got these on there, you just want to carry it with you. You know what I mean? And they also come with a handle. So if you wanted to carry both of them, you got a little handle. So that's pretty cool. Or you can keep it attached and you can still Look at that. So like me and James was talking, for instance, like when I go to the river, I don't carry a lot of boxes, especially if we're in the links or whatever. I don't carry a lot of boxes. This right here, I can put my whopper ploppers, a few crankbaits, a few jerk baits, all that. See, they got it 2 different directions here, like that. And you put your bigger baits in this one. I can put a few worms, a few jigs, whatever, and I wouldn't even have to carry a lot of stuff with me to the river that's gonna get in the way, or I gotta unpack, or any of that stuff, because the links I don't have, I don't normally use the trailer with it, not unless I take this off, which this thing is freaking heavy. I don't like taking it off the trailer if I ain't got to. That's why I got this trailer. It's made just for this. So, but yeah, so the track pack system is freaking awesome. I love it, and I think they did one heck of a job catering to a lot of fishermen that, you know, they don't want to carry a lot of stuff, or they want to have a lot of stuff at their fingertips, where I can move this and have it, you know, right here at arm's reach. I'm probably going to take it. I might actually take this box off, and I'm probably going to take it and I'm going to mount it right here so it's behind me, and I can turn around, and it's, you know, I can access it pretty easily. So got our measuring board on the side here. Just makes it simple getting it in and out, and it keeps it out of the way, and I'm not wasting space inside of my boat with it there, you know. So, and it keeps it tight to the boat as well. So got the Yak Attack camera mount. As you can see where the trailer is, I can actually pull my boat up on there and still have my camera there on the side. So I'm pulling out quick, and I basically do this like a bass boat. I can pull up to it, either step off in front of the boat onto the trailer and then pull it the rest of the way up, or I can just, you know, get in the water and work it around a little bit and then pull it up, and then I just winch it up with the winch right there and lock it down. And then what I got here is we bought these little ratchet straps that attach to the side. Now you do got to be careful with the kayak, because these you can get way too tight if you're not careful. Okay, so I just put a little pressure on them. That is it. And then I can still put my cover over the boat while that's on there, and it just holds everything down snug. It ain't going nowhere. But like I say, you don't want to go over tight with it. You crank it down a couple clicks, and then you're good to go. So, and the good thing about the carpet, man, it keeps it on there. I mean, it's snug once it's on the carpet. It's hard to move it. So, but this rail here, I know I was gonna talk about the trailer earlier, but I didn't get to it. This rail here is just a ladder rack that we got off of Amazon, and we basically turned, these are supposed to go in the other way, we turned them around. I got my uncle to weld up some bracing for me. I got to re-weld a few things, just to bumpiness of the roads and all that, especially Tennessee and all that. It just, some of the welds wasn't as great, so, and they didn't hold up. But anyways, I'm probably going to do another bar across there, just a little more support. And then like I say, we just did wood on the bottom, and I got to get new wheels and tires. These tires are worn out. Those are from Tractor Supply, but we've put a lot of miles on them. They're about worn out, but I got to repack my hubs. Last tournament they started slinging grease, which I lost a cap too, so it was slinging grease. But other than that, I mean, that's basically it for the setup. This is what I'm going to run again for the 2024 season. Hoping maybe to get a new kayak. I want to see how things go with the new ownership of Hobie, and might end up getting, I like the new colors they got right now. They're looking good. So, but I might reach out to Brock from Louisiana Customs and see about changing that deck piece there, and another job we're going to be working on here soon. So, all right guys, well, I hope you enjoyed that video. That's basically just a quick walkthrough. Hope I didn't ramble too much, but I showed you everything that we get a lot of questions about. This has been a really fun setup. We've run a lot of different boats, and I have to say, this is probably one of the funnest setups that I have, especially with being organized, and I can carry everything that I want to carry with me when I go fishing. I don't have to, you know, sacrifice certain things because I ain't got room for it or it can't handle it. So, been in some really rough water with this. Winnipesaukee, I've been to Toledo Bend with 40-mile-an-hour winds. Winnipesaukee is ungodly amount of waves on the weekends. Them people up there, they love to have fun out there on the water, I can tell you that. So, and it's held up great. I ain't had no problems with it. And like I say, it's just a very organized, boat for me, the way we got it set up. So, but if you, I'll put some links in the bottom here for any of these products if you're interested in them. Also check out oneobjectivebf.com. We got up high load accessories for a lot of different brands. So, but other than that, if you guys got any more questions on any of this stuff, just feel free to write down in the comments below, and we'll do our best to try to answer them all. And if you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button. We're a new channel. We're really trying to grow. I'd love to hit 1,000 subscribers. I think last I looked was at 683 or something like that. So love to hit 1,000 here quickly. Hopefully I'm hoping by February or so we'll hit 1,000. So, but other than that, hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, guys. We will talk to you later. See ya.